Hello, passionate Celtic FC fans. This is Celtic Central News, your exclusive source for Celtic updates. Before we kick off, we appreciate the incredible support. If you love Celtic, subscribe now, hit like, and let's build this community together. Now, on to the latest news. A warm welcome to new subscribers. Your support is crucial. Hail, hail! The rumour mill in Glasgow has gone absolutely wild tonight, lads. And I can tell you right now, the city has done buzzed like this in a long while. Imagine the Green Brigade hearing this over a pint. Celtic might be pulling off one of the most unbelievable coups in modern football. Whispers are swirling through pubs, WhatsApp groups, and even the old boys hanging around Kerrydale Street. They're all repeating the same thing in that half-disbelieving, half-hopeful tone. Neymar, that Neymar. Folk are saying the club is lining up what could be the most shocking signing in the history of Scottish football. And while no one's putting their hand in the fire just yet, the buzz has grown so loud that it's impossible to ignore. The chatter goes something like this. A world-class star looking for a fresh start. A club known for passion, history, and a fan base unmatched anywhere on the continent. It sounds like pure madness, but every rumour starts like that before the truth comes crashing in. Tonight, Celtic Park feels like it's sitting right on the edge of a thunderstorm, and every wee spark of gossip is setting hearts racing up across the East End. Right now, the most intriguing part of this whole swirling saga is how naturally the pieces seem to fit almost too perfectly. Neymar, currently back playing as a hybrid midfielder and attacker in Brazil, might be looking for a new challenge before closing out the final years of his glittering career. And here's the kicker. The idea of playing in Europe again, but someplace where football lives in the bloodstream, is apparently something he's been thinking about. That's where Celtic's name started bouncing around, first in those quiet football insider circles, then leaking into media corridors, and now erupting through social networks like wildfire. People in Glasgow love a good rumour, but this one's different. It's got folk whispering with genuine excitement rather than pure fantasy. In the pubs around Parkhead, you'll hear phrases like, imagine him in the hoops, and could you even picture the noise at Paradise? Over and over. And as daft as it sounds on paper, the more you hear it, the less impossible it feels. There's something in the air, something that smells like a story that's just begging to explode. Celtic Park has seen legends walk through its doors, no doubt about that. But the possibility of Neymar stepping on that pitch is a momentous thought that has even the older supporters shaking their heads in disbelief. For years, the club has thrived on passion, identity, and a style of football rooted in heart rather than superstar glitter. But that's exactly why this rumour is sending shockwaves through the city. Imagine combining that raw Celtic energy with the flamboyance, creativity, and pure unpredictability of one of the most skillful players of his generation. The talk is that the board wants to bring in a true marquee signing, something that would not only energize the squad, but send Celtic's global profile skyrocketing. And if the rumours hold any truth, the conversations have already moved beyond the hypothetical stage. Nothing confirmed, of course. These things never are at this stage, but too many insiders are calling this a live situation for fans to just shrug it off. It's the kind of buzz that keeps supporters awake at night, checking their phones, refreshing pages, waiting for even the tiniest shred of confirmation. The craziest part of all this might just be how the whispers claim Neymar himself is considering the emotional pull of European football rather than just the financial side. Focus saying he's been telling people around him he misses the pressure, the noise, the weight of big nights under the lights. And if that's true, then Celtic Park is arguably one of the most electrifying environments he could walk into. Champions League nights in Glasgow have humbled giants before. Players talk about the intensity, the atmosphere, the sheer electricity in the air. Now picture Neymar with all his flair and swagger feeding off that energy, raising the roof every time he touches the ball. It almost feels like one of those football fantasies that gets created on social media for fun. Yet here we are discussing it as a rumor with real legs. People close to the club are acting just coy enough to make supporters wonder if there's something bubbling beneath the surface. And the truth is, when Celtic get that glimmer in their eye, when the board smells opportunity, they're capable of things folk wouldn't dare dream. The speculation only intensified after reports surfaced suggesting Celtic are preparing to overhaul the midfield with a signing that would change the dynamic of the team entirely. That line alone had fans guessing from the moment it dropped, but when Neymar's name got attached to it, the whole city practically combusted. Journalists have been seen lingering longer than usual at Lennox Town, hoping to catch a suspicious face or an unexpected vehicle rolling through the gates. Meanwhile, social media detectives have been analyzing flight data, tracking Brazilian interviews, even screenshotting cryptic emojis from players already at the club. Some might say supporters are reading too much into scraps. But that's how big rumors work. They grow like wildfire, fueled by hope and the thrill of imagining the impossible. And if this turns out to be one of those stories where there really is fire beneath the smoke, then Celtic might be on the verge of the most ambitious move they've ever attempted. The mood around the city right now feels strange. Hopeful but nervous, excited but terrified to believe it fully. What's undeniable, though, is the impact this rumor alone has already had. You can feel the pulse of the fan base shifting. Ticket forums are buzzing, merch sellers are bracing for chaos, and the global football community is starting to poke its head in, curious about what exactly is happening in Glasgow. There's even talk that some commercial partners have been alerted to prepare for increased traffic, whatever that might mean. And while most of this is still wrapped in mystery, it's impossible to ignore the signs that something massive is brewing. The Celtic board is famously tight-lipped, but when big-name journalists start asking more pointed questions at pressers, you know there's a reason. Whether Neymar ultimately signs or not, one thing's certain. The club has set the stage for a seismic moment, and fans everywhere are clinging to every whisper, every rumor, every cryptic hint. The atmosphere feels like the calm before a storm, thick, heavy, and full of anticipation. Something is coming. People just can't tell yet whether it'll be thunder or fireworks. If part one was all about the rumblings underneath the surface, part two is where the whispers start turning into proper tremors across Glasgow, because now the rumor has crossed borders. Brazilian outlets are hinting at a European option, and suddenly everyone's trying to connect the dots. When Neymar's entourage refused to deny the possibility, that's when supporters properly lost the plot. It's no longer just Scottish fans chatting among themselves. Now you've got South American journalists, European bloggers, and even former teammates chiming in with vague comments that only add more fuel to the blaze. And the Celtic faithful, they're hanging onto every word like it's gospel. The idea of a megastar strolling through the front doors at Parkhead feels surreal, almost cinematic. Folk are waking up at daft hours, checking their phones, convinced some announcement might drop while they're asleep. And honestly, You can't blame them. When rumors get this loud, this widespread, this strangely consistent, it's hard not to wonder whether someone somewhere already knows the truth and is just waiting for the perfect moment to let it explode. What makes this entire situation even more fascinating is how Celtic's current squad could actually complement a player like Neymar. The style, the pace, the constant movement, it's a brand of football he's always thrived in. Some insiders are saying the club's recruitment team has been analyzing the tactical implications of bringing in a world-class playmaker who can drift between midfield and attack. That alone has fans buzzing because it suggests this rumor might not just be marketing smoke, it might be grounded in actual football planning. It's been years since Celtic had someone with the ability to turn a match upside down with a single feint or a moment of brilliance, and the thought of Neymar in that role, pulling strings and dazzling crowds, is sending imaginations into overdrive. Discussions in football circles are shifting too. Folk are no longer asking, is it possible? But rather, how would Celtic play with him? The tone has changed, and that's usually the biggest sign that something serious is unfolding behind the scenes. The businessmen circling the club have undoubtedly noticed the global attention this rumor has pulled. There's talk, quiet but persistent, that commercial partners see Neymar as a magnet for international markets. Celtic already boast a worldwide fan base, but a signing like this would blow the doors off the global stage. Merchandising, international tours, sponsorship deals, everything would go through the roof. Some analysts think this might actually be a long-term strategy to elevate the club's financial power to levels Scottish teams aren't usually associated with. And if that's the case, then signing Neymar wouldn't just be a footballing move, it would be a statement of ambition on a scale Celtic haven't shown in decades. Of course, nothing's confirmed. These are just rumblings, hints, carefully placed pieces in a puzzle the public isn't allowed to see yet. But when big companies start adjusting their plans, when broadcasters begin sniffing around, you know something unusual is stirring. And right now, Celtic are at the eye of a swirling rumor hurricane unlike anything Glasgow's seen in years. The Celtic dressing room, according to some whispers, is absolutely buzzing with the possibility players are joking, teasing, trying to figure out if any of them have accidentally let something slip to the media. A few of them apparently follow Neymar on social media now, which fans have obviously analyzed to death. The thought of sharing a pitch with such an iconic figure has everyone on edge. In a good way, it's the kind of rumor that energizes a squad, makes training sharper, makes players hungrier. Imagine the mentality boost a signing like this would bring. Younger lads would get to learn from a superstar who's seen everything, won everything, played everywhere. Veterans would feel the spark of competition and excitement all over again. Even the coaching staff, rumor has it, have been tossing around hypothetical training plans just in case. And whether that's true or a bit of supporter fantasy spinning out of control, it adds to the beautiful chaos of it all. Football thrives on stories like this, stories that feel impossible until suddenly they're not. Before we proceed, subscribe to our channel and enable notifications to receive all exclusive news about Celtic FC. Don't miss any details about your favorite team. It's extremely important for Celtic FC fans. The fan base, as always, is split between the dreamers and the realists. The dreamers are all in. They're already imagining Neymar in the hoops, already picturing that first touch in front of 60,000 roaring supporters. They argue that football is changing, anything can happen, and Celtic deserve a moment like this. The realists, meanwhile, are trying their hardest to keep expectations steady. They'll tell you it's a long shot, that financial barriers still exist, that rumors can spiral out of control quickly, But even they can't deny the excitement growing inside them. They won't say it aloud, but everyone, even the skeptics, has had at least one moment where they paused and thought, but imagine if it did happen. And that's the magic of football, isn't it? That tiny spark of possibility, that dream you're almost scared to believe. Celtic supporters are living in that space right now, balanced between disbelief and hope, and it's creating an atmosphere that feels like the club is teetering on the edge of something historic. And that brings us to the final twist in this chaotic rumor storm. People close to the situation are now saying that the next few days will be crucial. What exactly that means, no one knows. Could be negotiations, could be clarifications, could be nothing at all. But that phrase, those exact words, tend to pop up only when a story is reaching a decisive point. The club remains silent, the board won't comment, and the insiders have suddenly gone quieter than usual, which only makes fans more convinced something is brewing. Whether this ends in a groundbreaking signing or just another chapter in football's endless rumor lore, one thing is undeniable. Celtic have captured the world's attention in a way no Scottish club has in years. And if by some miracle, some alignment of fate and ambition, Neymar walks out onto that pitch wearing the green and white hoops, well, Glasgow might just explode. Until then, the whole city waits, breath held, hearts racing, watching the horizon for the moment when rumor becomes reality or breaks like a wave before reaching the shore. Rumors from sources close to both clubs suggest that the old firm's history makes this transfer particularly explosive, with cultural, emotional, and tactical implications intertwined. Tavernier is described as a player whose influence extends far beyond the pitch, embodying leadership, resilience, and identity that have defined Rangers for years. Celtic's acquisition, insiders claim, is therefore not merely tactical but symbolic, aimed at shifting perceptions, asserting dominance, and destabilizing the rival club psychologically. Fans are reportedly preparing for a range of reactions, from jubilant celebrations in Celtic pubs to anxious debates in Rangers fan communities, each interpreting the move through the lens of loyalty, rivalry, and historical context. Analysts are weighing in on formations, leadership hierarchies, and potential friction, predicting that the integration of such a high-profile figure could reshape not only team strategy but also the emotional landscape of the Premiership. Social media is described as a constant whirlwind, with discussions, memes, and speculation flooding timelines, each post adding fuel to the fire. The secrecy and drama surrounding the negotiations, combined with Tavernier's prominence, have created an atmosphere of suspense and anticipation akin to the most thrilling plot lines in sport. Every whisper, every insider comment, and every strategic hint adds to a story that feels larger than football itself, elevating the rumor to the level of urban legend in Glasgow's footballing culture. Hello, fan, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, as it means a lot to Celtic FC. Also, share your opinion about the news in the comments below. See you in the next video.